Welcome to Manifested Publishers.
Welcome learners, my name is Stephen Kariungi, and today we continue with our discussion on blood groups and blood transfusion. And today I would want us to discuss about Rhesus factor. Now, besides the ABO blood groups that we learned earlier, there is another antigen that is known as Rhesus factor that also determines the blood group. And it happens that if a person has this Rhesus factor antigen, then we say that that person is Rhesus positive. If a person has the Rhesus factor antigen, then we say that that person is Rhesus positive. But if the person does not have the Rhesus factor, we say that the person is Rhesus negative. So this is an additional antigen to the A and the B antigens. A person with Rhesus antigen is said to be Rhesus positive. Is said to be Rhesus positive, and a person without the Rhesus factor is said to be Rhesus negative. So, for example, a patient is said to have B positive blood group. Identify the antigens present in this blood group. So the person has B positive, and therefore this person has B antigen. B antigen responsible for blood group B. Also, the person has the person is positive. That means this person also has a Rhesus factor. So basically, that person has B antigen and also has the Rhesus factor. Now, during blood transfusion, it's also important to consider the Rhesus factor, just like we consider the A, B antigens and antibodies. And for example, another example that we may have here is if a mother is Rhesus negative, if the mother is Rhesus negative and the child happens to be Rhesus positive, then that shows that there is incompatibility that is occurring there. And that is because some of the antigens from the fetus will pass into the mother's blood circulation, where they will be seen as foreign because the mother doesn't have the Rhesus factor. So in the process, the mother produces antibodies to try and fight the Rhesus antigens of the fetus. And in the process, the fetus may suffer from a disease that is called hemolytic disease of the newborn. So we are giving an example. An example 2, if the mother is Rhesus negative and is carrying a fetus that is Rhesus positive. So, some of the antigens, the Rhesus antigens from the fetus will pass into the mother or into the mother's circulation where they will be discovered as foreign. They'll be discovered as foreign. And as a result, the mother produces antibodies against the Rhesus factor of the fetus. And this leads to a condition called hemolytic disease of the newborn. Into brackets is called Erythroblastosis fetalis. That's a scientific name and should therefore be underlined. So that disease that we are calling the hemolytic disease of the newborn may not affect the first pregnancy, but may affect the subsequent pregnancies, causing death due to higher levels of antibodies produced by the mother. So you're saying that this can lead to death of subsequent fetuses if positive due to higher levels of antigens or of antibodies, sorry. So what you are basically saying is that Rhesus factor is very, very important during blood transfusion. A person with the Rhesus factor is said to be Rhesus positive, while a person without the Rhesus factor is said to be Rhesus negative. If a patient has, for example, B positive, that means that that person has B antigen and also has the Rhesus factor. Another example is that of a mother who is Rhesus negative and is carrying a fetus that is Rhesus positive. So some of the antigens from the fetus will pass into the mother's circulation where they will be discovered as foreign because they are positive and the mother doesn't have the positive. So as a result, that leads to the mother's circulation producing antibodies against the Rhesus factor of the fetus, leading to a condition known as hemolytic disease of the newborn or erythroblastosis. Erythroblastosis. Fetalis. So that condition can lead to death. Mostly it doesn't affect the first pregnancy because the antibody levels are a bit low, but it may lead to death of subsequent fetuses if positive due to higher levels of antibodies. So I will stop there as far as the Rhesus factor is concerned, and then have an assignment. So in the assignment, the first question, a mother is Rhesus negative and she is carrying a Rhesus positive fetus. Explain the implications. What will be the implications of that? Number 2, a patient has blood group AB positive. Identify blood groups of all possible donors. So you'll stop there. Until next time. Goodbye.